And so it begins. New York City will be the first city in America to charge Americans just to go to work in the morning.
Very first state in the nation, the very first city in America to have a congestion pricing plan.
Americans will have to pay around $23 per day.
Passenger vehicles would be charged $15 to enter the congestion zone, trucks between $24 and $36 depending on size, and motorcycles $7.50. Those tolls would be charged once per day and would be in effect between 5 a.m. and 9 p.m. on weekdays and 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. on weekends. Fees.
The proposal aims to reduce traffic congestion, but
what an absolute frickin' crap hole. And I'm very happy that I do not live there. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name's Luke Rudowski here of wearechange.org, and we have an incredible packed house ready for you guys as we are going to be going live for the next 2 hours, talking about all the latest, craziest news happening right now in the world. As of course, there is so much to talk about, not just the slave congestion charges coming to New York City, but there's a lot of foreign policy news. There's a lot of domestic news. There's a lot of highway robbery. There's a lot of crooks out there that we are all going to be calling out with the context of all the latest news. We might even talk about this lady here. And yeah, we'll get into all of that, plus a lot more here on this independent media broadcast, which you could actually participate in by easily signing up to lukeunfiltered.com. And then by doing so, you guys get the ability to actually call in and ask us and the guest any questions you want. Unfiltered, unscripted. Those phone calls will be taking place at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on Rumble. To join, make sure you are watching on Rumble and you are on Telegram. I will be telling people to call in at a very specific time. Make sure you are communicating with me back and forth. We also will be addressing a lot of people's super chats, and another way that you guys could super chat is by going to mysuperchat.com, a way to, of course, participate in the conversation where your comments actually show up on screen, and YouTube doesn't get a 30% cut. We get a 3% cut, which is a lot better than, of course, the cut that YouTube usually takes when it comes to Super Chat. So we got a lot to discuss, and to help us discuss all of these crazy issues happening in this world is another crazy man. That man is, of course, Vinny from Valuetainment. Vinny, for the people who don't know you, who are you?
My name is Vincent Oshana. I like Vinny better. From Yonkers, New York. Joined the military when I was 18, United States Air Force. Brother and sister joined at the same time. Parents are legal immigrants. I love saying the legal part because apparently you don't have to do that anymore to come into this great country. Served my time, left the military, was in during 9/11. The Bush did something called stop loss, which basically means the government, we can't afford to lose soldiers. So I was stuck until, more people started joining. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Just one day they came to me, stop loss ended. There wasn't a specific date. They were like, hey, here's a contract, six years, $60,000. You want to stay in? And I'm not joking. At that moment, I looked at this colonel. I went, nope, got to chase my dream to do comedy, and went to LA, mild success. COVID hit. I found Patrick David online, messaged him, went to Valuetainment, and this past year has been literally a dream. It's been insane. Love it. And it's like, I'm a completely different person, changed my life, got sober. It was insanity when I was living in Los Angeles. I have a bunch of crazy stories, but it's like, everything in my life right now is just focus and being the voice, like how you guys are and what you guys speak of and how you guys' love for the country and trying to fight the people that are trying to destroy it. I think it's freaking amazing, and I'm really happy to be here.
Absolutely. It's only going to get crazier. We have a lot of questions for you as well, so we're going to get into that, plus more. Clint is also here. Clint, how are you?
I'm good. Clint Russell, host of Liberty Lockdown, co-host of Tower Gang, and most importantly, co-host of this fine program, thebestpoliticalshow.com. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. We got Steph on the buttons.
Hey, everyone. I'm Stephanie Marie, and I'm happy to be here.
And she's going to be talking a lot today and expressing her thoughts and
I don't know.
expressions.
Vinny is pretty chatty.
I mean, I better be if I'm going to be on a podcast.
Absolutely. A little bit of organizational notes before we begin. We, of course, We'll be doing special shows with some guests that Clint has booked for next week, as of course I am going to be traveling out to the Beanie compound and co-hosting that show next following week, as we are also going to be on stage doing a special show for TPUSA with Tucker Carlson. That coming up, AmpFest. So stay tuned for that, plus a lot more. As of course, we got a lot of really special guests coming on this show. Clint, who do you have lined up for next week?
I guess I'll let the cat out of the bag. I'm very happy with these guests. Monday, we got Anomaly, a.k.a. Legendary Energy. Tuesday, we got James Lindsay. And Wednesday, we got my boy, Dave Smith. It's going to be a packed lineup. Don't miss it.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of really incredible people here on the show, so make sure to subscribe, click the notification button, and send this broadcast out to your friends and family members, as we are still going to be going live for the next 2+ hours. You guys sharing it means the world to us, and we can't thank you enough. Now, let's just get into the first story. As just even a couple minutes ago, the MTA board just officially voted in favor of a $15 congestion pricing toll for almost all people trying to enter Lower Manhattan, Midtown Manhattan, and any kind of there was this famous kind of movie where they had the Capitol in Hunger Games. It was called the Capitol, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
So essentially, to enter the capital of what people deemed the United States, you now have to pay a surcharge to the state that, of course, will be taking a pound of flesh and, of course, screwing over poor people, so the plebs won't be able to enter the high royalty, high life, high cost of living with all the Wall Street executives down in Lower Manhattan, as now I think it's fair to say we are going to be seeing a segregation of society even more, a bifurcation of society even more, as the very corrupted and not well-organized MTA is like, yes, more money for us, absolutely, give it to us as much as you can, as they are also expecting to, of course, probably hike up the tolls during, quote, gridlock alerts. But again, who does this policy absolutely hurt? The poorest people, the people who, of course, are trying to make ends meet, the people who, of course, are struggling business owners, independent business owners, as the mega corporations. They're going to be fine with this. The huge industrialists, the people who have a lot of money, they're going to be okay with this. The average American is not. And now they're going to have to think twice about visiting Manhattan, which is absolutely freaking crazy. Vincent, you're from New York City just like I am. What do you make of this latest proposal, which is essentially a larger tax on the poor?
What more can New York do to show how much they can give a shit about the actual people that live in New York? They, with all the immigrants, when Mayor Adams was just like, listen, we're in New York, bring everybody, come one, come all, and then they came and the crap hit the fan. You know what I mean? And then it switched, right? And then what, isn't he under investigation right now? It's like, how much more can New York do to make New York unlivable? And you nailed it, bro. Like, those people that are making $500,000 $1 million a year, especially in New York, going to Manhattan, more money. It's the average person that has, what about like Uber and all these people? What, Uber's going to raise the price and pay them more money? Absolutely not. I think you nailed it. It's another way of segregating the rich from the poor, which that has been the goal from the elites for, and I know this is just New York, but it comes from the top. There's no middle anymore. There's no average. It's either you're making it or you're struggling, and this is another way to do it.
And during Black History Month, they're going to have special charges for all the white people trying to enter down to New York City. They're like, you whiteys right here, it's Black History Month. We've got to take in your reparations, which is just, it sounds absurd, but with the way things are going in New York City, this is the trend. This is where things are going. This is being normalized here. As of course, I'm joking here, but this form of discrimination has been normalized. I remember hearing, and this was the moment, this was the kind of timeline that I saw unfolding that really made New York City absolutely lost to me. I used to love New York City. I grew up in New York City. I was there in the 90s. I loved it in the 90s. I loved it in the early 2000s, but then there was a dramatic shift in that kind of city where the soul, the culture, the life was just sucked out of it by the conglomerates, by all the bureaucrats, by all the authoritarians there. there that just made life absolutely miserable. And the one thing that I really noticed in New York City was this kind of declaration by, I'm trying to remember exactly who it was, but it was I believe it was the head of the Department of Education in New York City that said, hey, if you have a poor white kid and a rich black kid, we have to send all of our resources to that rich black kid, and we have to make sure that the poor white kid doesn't get anything in order to, of course, make sure that reparations are paid for and that there is actual equality here. And I'm like, hey, that poor kid deserves just as much help as any other poor kid. Just because he was born a different way doesn't mean he should be discriminated against. And this was official policy that was talked about by people in charge of the New York City Department of Education, which I am not a proud product of, and still probably why I can't spell things correctly because of my kind of upbringing in the public school institutions there that have taught me absolutely nothing.
Well,
Zero.
To me, this is really just an extrapolation once again of the lockdown decision, and this is what was very harsh in many of the liberal cities, was that the bigger businesses, once again, as you were describing, like this won't impact the wealthy. This won't impact the bigger businesses. During COVID, you were actually able to stay open if you were one of the big businesses. Well, this is going to be, once again, it's the Uber driver. Well, now it's going to be the taxi medallions, which already have lobbyists that have already tried to drive out Uber and Lyfts from New York City. Well, this will help with that, and it'll just help all of the government entities and the lemmings that benefit from that kind of relationship. So it's not surprising to
And
me.
you guys, how long do you guys think till all the other liberal cities? About two questions: how long till Chicago? How long till Los Angeles? How long till that spreads there? And do you guys think any conservative? Like you think? I mean, Florida's growing. They're saying that Miami's going to become the new Wall Street. I've heard that a bunch of times. Do you guys think? I mean, if it's going to happen in New York, it's going to happen in LA. But when do you guys think it'll start shifting?
It originally happened, I believe, in the United Kingdom. I remember going to London even a few years ago, and I was talking to some of the friends there, and they were like, "Oh, I don't want to drive into London because I'm going to be charged." I'm like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Let's just go to London." And they're like, "No, we got to pay like £20, £30 because of the congestion charges." And I'm like, "What?" And then I remember entering London, and I saw all the surveillance cameras on all the roads there, because to implement this program, you need a surveillance state. New York City right now is a surveillance state.
100%.
So it's not going to be that difficult for them to implement the system where they now officially take people out of people's bank accounts, just like they do in China for jaywalking. But now it's not jaywalking, it's just for having the ability to enter a city. So these programs are already very active in Western liberal kind of democracies like London. So obviously a lot of other cities are going to see this as they are struggling with making ends meet, as they're struggling to pay for all the new voters that they're importing.
Of course.
And they're going to be like, we could just charge people to be here and to travel here, like they already don't with the tolls. The tolls in New York City are absolutely crazy. I remember the Verrazano and hearing this story, because my dad, every time he was driving across the Verrazano, he was like, they told us that this bridge was going to be free. They told us that as soon as this bridge pays for itself in the tolls, that they were going to make it free for everybody. And it just kept going up. I remember, I don't know, you're from New York City.
I'm from Yonkers,
okay,
right near the Bronx.
So that's Canada for me. I was in the deep South Brooklyn, and I remember going over that bridge, and I remember when it was $6, and then it was $7, $8, $9, $10. Now it's $20+ just to go
cross the
through
bridge?
one way.
Wow.
Absolute criminality on the MTA, which is filled with a bunch of corrupted bureaucrats. It's just as bad as the Ukrainian oligarchs, if not the same. There's not a big difference in my book with how just corrupt New York City is when it comes to moving around and transporting. Yes, the subway's great. It's great that it's open 24 hours a day, but how much money are we paying for it? As there's even some statistics highlighting how the Verrazano literally pays for itself within a few days, comparatively to how it was supposed to be freaking free. And it's still $20+ for one vehicle just to make it through, which is crazy.
That's insane. And it's like, look, okay. I mean, if they're going to do it regardless, but how about, okay, if you're going to work, we're not going to try. Like, if you're just going there just to lollygag, which I still don't agree with. If I want to go downtown Manhattan, let me go see Manhattan. But to do it for people that are working, bro, it's just...
It's brutal.
It's ridiculous.
Well,
bro.
this is exactly what the WEF 15-minute city framework is all about.
Exactly.
They want to make it so cost prohibitive that people stop traveling. This is about the climate crisis, the carbon crackdown. That's all this is part and parcel of that. That's why we titled this episode, this is America's first 15-minute city, and you can expect this to expand. It will be coast to coast in all liberal cities in short order. As far as I'm concerned, let's pray that, Florida and the places that we've all fled to, buck that trend.
And it gets deep, Clint. You nailed it. And why do you think all these smash and grab under $1,000, they're letting it, they're encouraging crime? Because now they're like, okay, listen, all these places are going to close. Stay home and shop. Don't go out there, because they're going to shut. Like in Beverly Hills, they shut down on Rodeo. They shut down 4 or 5 like All Saints, like really, really major stores. They want you to keep your ass at home, buy everything on Amazon, don't go anywhere. Dude, I wish people, people talk. If the people, like when gas starts going up, it's gas in LA $7. If everybody one day just said, all right, guys, today as a group, nobody get gas. Gas would drop to $1. With the thing in New York, I would tell all the New Yorkers, everybody stay home. Everybody if everybody stayed home, but there's no way you're going to get everybody to come together and not do it.
Well, and the reality is most people can't afford it because they're living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so expensive to live there already. It's just it's like salt to the wound, man. It kills me. My stepdad's from New York, and he loved the city. He really did. And like he won't even go back. Like he doesn't even want to see it because it's too hurtful for his soul to see what it's become. And that's how I feel about my hometown in California. It's like this is just Democrat policies absolutely shredding the framework of this nation, what made this country great. It breaks my heart.
And I want to ask all you guys, what is it going to take for the people that are in these cities, these liberal, these Democrats? What else needs to happen for you to say, okay, guys, stop voting these people in, stop supporting them? Are you that dedicated to a party that doesn't give a damn about you? Like, how many more things do they have to show you? Illegals are in there running the show. Now they're adding all this stuff. You're paying for it because they have to pay for the illegals. When are you going to stop voting for these people? When are you going to wake the hell up and be like, okay, enough is enough? Well, it won't change.
There was actually some black Democrat voters in Chicago that were screaming at their council members just this past week, saying, like, at least we know the snakes that the Republicans are. We're gonna start. We're gonna start voting for the snakes we know. And I was like, that's fascinating. So I think that the immigration crisis really is starting to go after some of the ironclad Democrat base voters. I still think when it comes to voting day, though, they're gonna say, nah, I've been voting Democrat forever.
But they're making it so illegal immigrants could now vote in local elections. They're doing this in California. They're doing this in New York. So what better way to guarantee their larger kind of control of everyone than, hey, come on in, guys, and then we'll give you free stuff. It's not free. It's stuff that, of course, the New Yorkers that actually do work, which very few of them do now, because why would you? I lived in New York City. I remember looking at the tax brackets. I'm like, I'm paying New York City tax. I'm paying New York State tax. I'm paying federal tax. This is insane. Why am I doing this? This made no sense at all. And now you have to go through a situation where if you're in dirty Jersey, you have to pay $22 to cross the bridge, $26 just to drive into the city. Are you kidding me? Like who has that kind of money in this kind of Biden-omics, which is absolutely just depriving people of any kind of normal way of freaking life. So it's a direct attack on the local populations as they bring in new populations that now are even taking a lot of the social services that were there for the poorest. That's even being cut now because they don't have enough for everybody, which is crazy.
I was a fairly successful entrepreneur in San Diego, and so I had a handful of years that I was in the top tax bracket, and it's 30 plus something percent that I was paying federally, and then it was 13% to the state of California. And then as I'm paying that amount of taxes, so like half my money is being taken away, right? Then they go, your business is shut down. And I was like, wait. So I'm giving you guys 6-figure checks annually, and you guys are going to shut down my, multi-million-dollar business. It was so infuriating. And it's like these states, as much as I love the people that live there, and there's really good people in California and New York as well, I want to see these states fail. Like, they deserve it. They have so mismanaged this. They just don't deserve to continue to function, and ultimately they will fail. It's going to happen.
Will they? Because all they really have to do is be like, andele, amigos, aquí, mucho dinero, no trabajar, and
it works, bro.
Let's be real.
It works. Yeah. California got that, dude. Are people that stupid that they don't see? Like, those are votes. This whole humanitarian. Listen. You don't care about these families and these kids. No.
This is the party that drone bombs brown children all the time, and they brag about it.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's like, it's a vote, and it's blatantly in your face, and people are like, no, well, you don't care. No. America has to come first, bro. And they're it's not even happening slowly. They're grabbing pieces of us, and I'm telling you right now, if we were alive during the Roman days, and when Rome was at its height, at its peak of ruling, if somebody went up to you as a Roman and was like, hey, dude, one of these, we're gonna fall, you'd laugh you'd be like, get out of here. Now in America, and I'm telling people, guys, we have to fight to keep this thing, because we are the modern day Rome, and it's falling apart in front of our faces. Like, I can't believe half the stuff that I'm hearing, that even stuff that he's saying, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Border, and nobody really talks about it but us. The border is wide open. I saw a video today of a border patrol guy and he's just like you said, come on, and I guarantee you, they're like, mira, democrato, vote democrat, D, just D. And listen, say what you want, the Republicans ain't doing nothing, bro.
Yeah, no.
The Democrats play to win. And I'm like, dude, Republicans are the cuck party. They don't do nothing, bro. They're just there. They bark while the Democrats bite. And I think it's George Carlin said it. It's all an illusion. Yep. I genuinely feel that they're on the same team. What Republican is doing anything?
Hey, I disagree with you.
God, I want to hear this. Good, I want some pushback.
The Republicans are great at lying on their back and taking it from the Democrats, taking that Democratic D hard. Okay,
I thought we were gonna have a little debate. He's like, no. And if you think about it, Luke, like, I watch all those hearings. I watch, like, when Fauci was on the stand, and who was the main guy? Ron Paul. Rand Paul. Yeah. Just going at him and yelling. And by the way, Fauci knows he's protected. He's a bureaucrat. He's fighting back. And I'm like, wow, we have something's going to happen. What happens? Nothing. Absolutely nothing happens to none of these people. So that makes me lose the faith. And okay, it's not a party thing. That's why I think Trump was such an amazing thing, because he didn't want to go any party. He wanted to come in independent. But, the establishment's like, no, you got to pick a side. Yep. And obviously he grew the MAGA Republican sect. But it's like, bro, they don't give a damn about us. They don't give two craps, and look what's happening. We're falling apart as a country.
Well, they both sides of the aisle profit tremendously from military-industrial complex, the pharma, all of it. It's this classic story. But back to your point about California politicians, like, do you think they actually care about the plight of the Hispanic community that's coming across, like the refugees or something like that? No. Anytime you actually listen to, like, Nancy Pelosi or any of these politicians in California talk about the migrants, the first thing they'll mention is housekeeping. They'll be like, our housekeepers, like, we got to make sure our housekeepers are taken care of, our gardeners. It's like, they don't even look at these people as human beings. They really don't.
I think it was Kelly Osbourne that said this on The View, saying, like, hey, who's gonna wash my house? who's gonna do the lawn? I'm like,
Trump wants to get rid of Guadalupe? What are you, nuts? My pool, I'm
gonna have to clean my own toilet after taking a dump in there?
Yeah.
Hell no.
Are you crazy? I love Mexicans. We can't.
Consuela changes the diapers. Are you out of your mind?
Yeah, they care. They really, really care about these people. Meanwhile, the biggest mouths, and they've never brought one of these illegals into their house. They've never tried to help any of these people. It's always like, no, help them. Do you want to bring them into your house? No, wait, I didn't say I want to actually help. I just want to have a big mouth. I want to be that person that just posts a black square that doesn't even think about it. Right. Just post something and I'm supporting it, or wear the Ukrainian flag. They're all talk, bro.
Yeah, the best videos are kind of on the street videos where people are like, yes, we have to bring them in. We have to take care of them. I'm like, okay, can we bring... and then they literally bring out the migrants. I'm like, okay, we're going to bring them to your house now. And they're like, no,
not my house. Oh, yeah, but they're like, my in-laws are at the house. I can't bring them in here.
Laura Loomer, I think, took it another level where she brought illegals to Nancy Pelosi's house. And she was like, hey... Okay, here, come. She literally showed up to Home Depot.
Oh my God!
And she got illegal. She was like, okay, guys, we're gonna position you. We're gonna give you a home here in Nancy Pelosi's home.
Wow!
Since she's calling all of you guys to come over, let's do it. Which was absolutely just brilliant and hilarious to see. Ian Crossland, who was just on the show, he's like, we got to take care of these people. I'm like, Ian, okay, we're opening up your room right now. I know where you live. Don't make me pull the loomer. I'll do it.
Yeah.
And then his position kind of changed a little bit after
because think about, Luke, you're holding their foot to the fire. If you're going to talk the talk, walk the walk, bring them in your house, and dude, that's just the vote side of it. Do you guys have any, I know the number is astronomical, how many children disappear at the border, and again, I don't fuel none of this. I don't even use the C word. I'm a coincidence theorist. All these kids that are missing in the tens of thousands, they come and they get sponsors who, mind you, they don't do a background check. They're not related. They just come and grab this kid. Nobody checks up on them. Then you watch Mayorkas, that little rat, Alejandro Mayorkas. He sits there in Congress and he sits there with a smirk and they're like, how many numbers? Where are these kids? Are you even vetting these people? And he goes, our border security. He doesn't answer one question, and it drives me bananas. So let alone the sex trafficking, the votes, the not caring. It's just it's
the
like
human trafficking and the human cost that happens. I was on the border in Tijuana. I was on the Mexican part, not the American part.
Yeah.
And I was there through one of the largest migrant waves that ever came through that particular city. And it was an utter freaking disaster. I would not wish those circumstances and scenarios for any person. And they were all there being like, hey, I was promised a job. I was promised work. I was promised an opportunity. I was promised that I was going to be taken care of. I'm here for my opportunity that they told me was here. And they were literally at the frickin' border in worse situations than squalor. And I traveled all over the world. I saw the migrant crisis also in Italy. I saw it all over the world. I saw it almost everywhere. And it's a byproduct of failed American policies and also NGO groups and secret billionaires that are literally engineering this whole thing and replacing the local populations in what a lot of people call a special plan that we can't even mention here on this particular broadcast that we're going to get into probably on Rumble. But I want to get to a tweet that Elon Musk sent out just a couple minutes ago. He said highest single day ever, and he is responding to a breaking news post by Bill McGlean, who is saying that per CPD sources there was more than 12,000 migrants encounters at the southern border yesterday, the highest single day total ever recorded. This includes the 10,200 plus Border Patrol apprehensions of illegal immigrants, amongst the highest daily totals for BP ever recorded. Now, those are record numbers, and those numbers are happening mainly because it's an election year, mainly because people know, hey, if Donald Trump becomes president of the United States, our opportunity is going to be gone here because he's probably going to be doing something about this. The Republicans might be doing something about this as they're leveraging, of course, the Border Patrol and border security with Ukrainian funding right now, which it looks like they might actually make a deal with. So with these numbers going up, this highlights a very dangerous situation where even the FBI is coming out and they're like, yeah, we're facing some significant threats from the southern border with possible foreign entities coming in and then causing problems for the local American populations.
Just some quick math for the people at home that going, 12,000 doesn't sound that much. Well, number one, if you lived in San Antonio, it'd probably sound like a lot.
Yeah.
But I just did the math on that. At that pace, and keep in mind, 12,000 encounters. That means people they actually encountered. There's thousands more that they don't see. 4.38 million annually. That's a lot, folks. Consider how many troops Russia put into Ukraine. A couple 100,000. We're talking over 4 million that are like known encounters, probably 6 to 7 to 8 million that are unknown. It's crazy.
And I do love that Elon, besides the giving us the freaking, the guy spent $40-some billion to let us say and see whatever we want. You might not like it, but at least he gave us that platform.
Yeah, respect for that.
Yeah, huge respect, bro. For him to care about that, like there's something going on. I don't know if you guys saw yesterday or the day before, Trump was talking to, was it Hannity? And he goes, people are worried that you're going to be a dictator. And Trump goes, I am on day one. You know what I'm going to do? I'm shutting down the border. We've heard this before. Yeah. And then he goes, I'm going to tell people to drill. And what I think people are lacking too, Luke, what people aren't realizing is I watch these videos of the border. And Clint, it's not just, I love how people are just like, it's the Mexicans and Trump and Mexicans.
Yeah, no.
I just saw a video of 200 Chinese grown men standing in line, really good suitcases and stuff, and they're coming in. Let alone, we caught 165 known terrorists on the terror watch list that we caught. You guys are talking about the getaways. This is a purpose invasion, and I'm telling you right now, and I've told people this next year, I know they're trying to start this pandemic 2, which they all warned us about. I think they've been trying to test it with this new virus in China. We're kind of bored with that. But I'm telling you right now, how if Biden looks pretty confident. I don't know about news. I don't know what their plan is. There's something up their sleeve. I wouldn't be surprised, bro, with this whole influx. Something big and major is going to happen to keep people away from going to vote. If one voting center gets a terrorist attack, nobody's going to vote.
Oh, yeah.
And they already have the mail it in, guys. We already have it set up. Mail it in. God forbid, because guys, I feel it. I was in during 9/11, and we could get into that later on. I knew 2 days before, because I was on the Air Force shooting team. Somebody warned me not to be like excited about this competition that I was going to be on, and I was ridiculous. I was the number one shooter. I'm like, what do you mean? Because this guy knew people in intelligence. I'm like, and then it happened, and I'm like, I have the same feeling.
Whoa.
They're getting ready, bro, for something, and they're gonna and you just nailed it, Luke. When the FBI, when Christopher Wray is going, hey guys, he's admitting it in your face. Whoo, like it's going to be a blink of an eye and something bad's going to happen. It's coming.
Yeah, let's absolutely talk about that on Rumble. Where it's going to be a lot safer to talk about that, because it wasn't just you. It was Willie Brown that our vice president really likes a lot. That also got warnings. Yeah. It was a lot of other very high level politicians. It was also Larry Silverstein that got warnings. There's a lot to talk about, but let's get into that. Later. Let's get into that in a little bit here, as of course it's very important, and we absolutely agree with what you just said, as we've been talking about that since pretty much the first episode, saying, hey guys, be on the lookout, be prepared, no matter what, don't fall for any kind of larger psyop. And I truly do believe it is because of Elon why they haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. And if it wasn't for Elon, and this is why I think they're attacking Elon, because of this ability to counter narratives in real time, that a lot of their bigger tricks might not work if we have free speech. So this is why free speech is essential. That's why it's under attack. This is why in 30 minutes, we're going over to Rumble to actually get into the real issues that we can't hear on this platform, where sadly, a lot of people who talk about specific news stories are deplatformed, demonetized, then kicked off. So we got some super chats that I wanted to read. We got one from Dick Dickerson, who says in Polish, democracy deserves a specific ride on an aircraft that is associated with a Chilean dictator. I won't talk about that. That is a super chat by Mr. Dickerson. Jay Coulter just came out and said, I think I got raided because of targeting conservatives. The warrant they showed me was bunk, and at my bond hearing, the pub defender argued my immediate release and case dismissed, never happened. All lies. I don't know what happened to you, Jay Coulter, but okay. We got another one by John Ruck saying, Vinny, why, when you talk on PPD podcast, every other word is Pat? An example. Hey, Pat, did you see Pat Biden lied? Pat, did you see that? Pat, Pat. And then John gave another super chat saying,
I've never noticed that. I never noticed
but I do like you, buddy, Vinny, just picking on you. So,
it's weird though, because the seating this is awesome seating. Pat's over here looking that way. So I gotta be like, Pat, to make him look this way, because if not, he's in his laptop and he's in his stuff, but that's hilarious. That's the first time I've ever heard that, though.
Now he's gonna have a phobia about it.
Now I'm gonna be like, sir. I'm gonna start using sir. Buddy,
good guy.
So you read Polish too?
Yeah.
So I know, like, ja wyglądam dobrze. I have words in Polish.
Nie tak źle wyglądasz.
Exactly.
I've been telling my Polish family, I'm like, because I have a bunch of family in Poland. I'm like, they're like, hey, we want to come over. We want to visit. The visas are kind of hard to get. Officially coming to the United States is hard to get. And I'm like, yo, come through Mexico. Let's go. Let's go. Like, what are you doing? I got young cousins, and I'm like, you want to be a hustler? Do you want to work? They're like, no, I need proper work permits. And they're not giving them out. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why don't you have this vigor and energy inside of you? Andrew Tate is right about you damn soy boys. You need to take initiative. Get to the southern border now. I literally sent them the video of Andrew Tate kind of making fun of the guys not taking enough initiatives to my little cousins. And I'm like, now. One just turned 18. I'm like, what are you doing? Now. We're going to hustle. We're going to work. We're going to be entrepreneurs. Come here. I got a separate guest room just for them already, all waiting. So I'm waiting for you. My extended family in Poland, come on over, and we'll start our own kind of Hustlers University 3.0.
And that is such, you make it like you're being funny, but there's so much truth, and like you can do, like, remember when Djokovic, they wouldn't let him come and play in the Open because he wasn't vaccinated? I was like, the hell with flying on an airplane. Go to Mexico, go to the southern border, just bring your... It's so easy.
How cool would that have been if he just showed up with his racket and he's like,
Dude.
I just came across the Mexican
Yeah, and it's like,
border.
orale, and it just keeps walking in. Look, I think that'd be a great, like, one of us could just go to Mexico and see if we could just come right back in the border.
That's a
Easy
good,
money.
yeah.
Easy.
It would be a cool documentary, actually.
That'd be cool. Just
Absolutely.
follow me to Mexico, and I'll come right back
let's
in.
go. Keith
Easy.
P gave another super chat saying, "What's up, Luke? Here in the Free State, Silver Dave says hi. Silver Dave is a great friend. He is a Special Forces Green Beret that taught me a lot of the survival skills. You could actually see Silver Dave in our masterclass for members of LukeUnfiltered.com, our survival apocalypse masterclass. He's an awesome dude. He has a silver company that we work with as well. So yeah, shouts out to everyone in the Free State of New Hampshire and Silver Dave and Jay Noon and all the incredible people out in New Hampshire. Now, let's get to this next video as we have a Democratic congresswoman having some choice words against what she calls deplorable states. Let's just get into it.
In fact, Ms. Perry, I know your organization, the Heritage Foundation, loves Texas. Ooh, they love Texas. They always sending us some nonsense bills that somehow set this country on the wrong trajectory. They send them to Texas. They send them to Florida. Every deplorable state that we can think about, they usually coming out of y'all's think tank. In fact,
Yeah, think tank. Really?
Y'all
Are you
think
kidding
tank.
me? Are Texas and Florida deplorable? These are some of the best states in America that still have some semblance of the Constitution, some semblance of the Bill of Rights, some kind of semblance of actual justice that is not heavily politically prosecuting people for their political ideas. And to me, this is the kind of thinking that these people have, that we have it wrong, they have it right. And I think it's fair to say if you live in a Democratic city, in a Democratic area, there's a lot of problems that you usually have to deal with and face with that a lot of people usually don't have to in Florida and Texas.
100%. That's literally the main reason I moved from California, and I was at the height of it was just horrible, bro. I mean, besides the heat, like how deplorable, like people that are like she's using that type of verbiage. Who's the last person that used that word and what? Hillary Clinton with her deplorable, and that was one of the main. Besides the emails and all that stuff, and I mean Trump dropping the bomb on her, but deplorables, like everybody's moving here. There's what's the average? And I think there's 900 people moving to Florida a day.
Whoa,
that's a fact. This is coming from DeSantis's from his 900 a day. So it's like all that red. And by the way, I couldn't see who it was, but
it's Democratic Jasmine Crockett.
By the way, speaking like that, like how are you gonna have people respect him? I mean, y'all, like this isn't some hip hop. Like you're on the floor, you're in Congress. I'm like, you have to speak somewhat professional, but like it's like that's deplorable. Speaking like that is deplorable.
Yeah, I mean, Hillary called it the basket of deplorables.
Basket.
Well, I guess that basket's filling up, huh, Hillary?
Yeah,
because we're getting 900 more a day. What drives me crazy is like there's lots of black people in Florida and Texas, for that matter, and just to have this black woman describing it that way is like. What do you think about those people? I mean, there's black conservatives in Texas. I don't know if people know that, but like, there's a lot of people that are African American that vote conservative. It's just so crazy and biased and racist and terrible and un-American and divisive, and it makes me sick. And I don't know how these people get elected, and I just wish it would stop. It's driving me crazy.
Oh, and they're so brainwashed that if the African American community that's so sold on this Democrat. Like to me, it's like their slave mentality. When people on the other side try to speak up, like a Larry Elder or somebody that's just like, hey, listen, you could free yourself from these people. Be educated. Go the other way. What do they call them? Uncle Toms.
The black face of white supremacy.
The black face of white supremacy.
Yep.
Why? Like, are you that brainwashed that there's somebody's trying to make you think to be on your own and get out of a party that doesn't give a damn about you? What have the Democrats have done for the African American community? Zero. Nothing. Look at Chicago. Look at downtown LA. Look at all these states. How can you pitch that to somebody? How can you?
I don't know.
Sit there and them go, yeah, you know what? You're right. They don't care about you. Just go to Chicago.
I think the only
it's not
way
that they didn't do anything. They allowed for their communities to be destroyed and looted and burnt and to have a mostly peaceful demonstration during the BLM riots. They allowed that to happen, as of course they also obfuscate a lot of crime, as even the feds are obfuscating crime statistics. And I think it's fair to say that they do cater to this kind of voting base as much as they can, but a lot of the times it's very cringy and it's very disingenuous. And for some reason, still, people just decide to vote for them. I'm reminded of the Hillary Clinton hot sauce kind of reference when she was on a hip hop radio station saying, "Yeah, I carry hot sauce everywhere I go."
Oh my
I'm like,
God.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
You carry maybe a kill list, probably some assisted death devices.
Yeah.
I can't even mention that word here on YouTube. You probably carry some nooses. You probably carry some letters that people write in different handwriting.
Some Haitian kids.
She definitely has one of those voodoo dolls, without a doubt.
100%.
So. Hot sauce, not one thing in her purse.
But it's also like AOC will code switch when she talks to her constituents in Brooklyn. She'll just take on this black intonation to her voice. I don't know how people don't like see through this shit. They're such transparent frauds. They're pandering. They're monster. Like they're just terrible people. And they manage to. I think they really do have the black community under a spell where it's like. No, if you vote any other way, not only are you a bad person, but you're voting for racism. And it's like all the conservative people I know aren't racist. I don't even know how this narrative continues to stick. Like most of them are just nationalists. Like they want their nation to not be inundated with 6-7 million undocumented workers every year. Most of them are not racist. Like honest to God, they're not. You should I feel like these people just need to talk to each other and figure it out. I don't know.
And they don't.
There's new statistics out there that I'm trying to pull up right now that talked about the latest study highlighting how different race groups see different races. But it might be a little bit too spicy to mention here on this particular broadcast, as of course it talks about the groups that have the lowest in-group preferences and the groups that have the highest out-group tolerances, and the data there
Rumble
is...
segment.
Yeah, that's definitely a Rumble segment. Let's get into more criminal politicians, as of course U.S. Senator Bob Mendez from Dirty Jersey was just caught having gold bars inside of his own home that have been linked to a 2013 armed robbery. How do you think they actually got there in his own home? Is it a coincidence? Is it an accident? Or what kind of public works project or what kind of deal did he make in order to get this from the criminal enterprises that politicians are usually connected to?
Listen, gold bars. Did they say where they were stolen from? Have they figured out where
it was linked to a 2013 armed robbery? It was gold bars.
I think when I hear this story, guys, I go back to the earlier conversation when we talk about the Democrats. They can do literally whatever they want, because you know what he said when he got caught? I'm not going anywhere. And you know what they said? All right, dude, like relax. Everybody else, who's that Santos guy? They just
George Santos.
George Santos booted, gone by. And again, this is going down to Democrats know that they are in charge, bro. He literally said, "What? People give me gifts and I have gold." And by the way, now that we found this out, what's going to happen to him? Absolutely nothing. Because if you stick to your guns and you go, "Hey, listen, dude, that'd be like a Democrat, like if you get in trouble for whatever, stealing gold, hooking up with girls." I almost said the word.
Yeah.
And the cop is like, "What the hell?" You're like, "No, hold on." And you open up, it's like a Democrat registration. Like, I registered. I'm a Democrat.
It's your PBA card.
Yeah.
It's like,
Get me out of here. But it's like, this just goes to show you, bro, the corruption is real, and now it's in your face. And so you have to answer for that. It was in a heist. People robbed it, and you have it in your possession. Nothing's gonna happen to him. He hasn't been like taken off Congress, and he's still there, right?
Yeah.
And
let's be honest.
This is specifically towards a robbery that happened a few years ago, where robbers made off with $500,000 in cash, 22 gold bars that were taken specifically from Dibez, Edgewater, New Jersey, from a specific home during a 2013 heist that just magically found their way into this political representative's home. And people wonder, how are these politicians so rich? How do they get so much money? Well, that's the money that's reported. Imagine the money that's not reported. And of course, it's not just Putin that has secret properties all over the world and yachts all over the world that are in different names and different titles, and of course are under what's the word here where you obfuscate where your monies are, your ownership and your titles?
Laundering.
Well, that's just normal everyday behavior. But they probably have the businesses in what's the businesses called? I'm blanking.
Offshore?
Not just offshore accounts, but they have. I can't believe I'm blanking this out. I want to know what it is.
We're gonna find it.
Because because like this is the way that they hide all their freaking money by having it in trust. Excuse me,
trust.
trust.
There we go. We found it.
Brain farted that out.
It's all good.
So just imagine this is the money that Nancy Pelosi has on record. Imagine the things that she has in trusts, in property, in real estate, in other things that are tangible that they have their money on, that they have their hands in, that we don't even know about.
Well,
go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, think about like you're able to legally insider trade, and you still got to take gold bars under the table, bro.
Yeah.
Like you can insider trade and make $100 million if you just stay in Congress for like 20 years and you're not a total idiot. But no, you got to take stacks of cash in briefcases. You're a real scumbag.
He's a scumbag. Like, bro, you just keep it at your house. Like, you have to have some type of aware. Like, they were coming. Like, your dirt is out there. And wait, what state is he from?
I'm guessing
New Jersey. Dirty Jersey.
Where the gold came
Guess
from.
what? Yeah, and I was just gonna say they probably were like, listen, man, that you got to give the gold back, and he's like, no. The tolls now are $26. I have to pay for these tolls. I'm paying in gold. Like, are you crazy? And you know what they're probably gonna say? Oh, you know what I mean? Yeah, hey, touche.
Well, the point I wanted to make about this is like, you were saying that the Democrats get off scot-free. It's really not the Democrats. It's whoever does the bidding of the regime. And the regime is really bipartisan because you have, like, it was James Clapper who lied about the spying on the American people, perjured himself before Congress, never saw any charges. You got Fauci, same deal. Crimes against humanity, let's just be honest. He'll never see the inside of a jail cell. So should I have any expectation that a dude like Menendez or whatever his name is, taking a bar of gold here and there? It's like, yeah, that's the least of my concerns, honestly. All of the other ones are way more criminal.
And that's not the gold he buried in his backyard. I mean, real men bury their gold in silver, okay?
Yes.
So that's just what you have to do. That's the rules. I don't make them, okay? And another aspect to kind of entertain here, and you made a good point here, it's not just Democrats, because we can make different skits about this. I was thinking about, even having something on my car being like, I voted Democrat, therefore I can't get a speeding ticket.
Yeah.
Or just literally, we should probably make like fake PBA cards.
I love that.
But just saying, I voted Democrat, jail out of free card,
get out,
get me out of here. I know Mr. SOROS that we can't mention here on this broadcast.
So funny.
I'm friends with him that financed your district attorney that's going to let me off. But when we joke about this, it's not just the Democrats, because we have individuals like Dennis Kucinich, Cynthia McKinney, who were on the left that were also targeted by the establishment, taken out of positions of power, and then screwed over by the powers that be, who of course went after them because they weren't playing ball. So I think the bigger point is, it's not just Democrats, it's people who don't play ball. You play ball, you're okay with the corruption, you're okay with the back room deals and going to private islands and going on specific airplanes, you're cool. But you speak out against it, jail right away.
I agree. Or you disappear, or something really, really bad health-wise happens to you. Because if you really think about it, can you name a politician that's really serving any real time for anything? Like, I'm being genuine. From Hillary, from everybody that's done everything, from getting impeached to people to who is locked up.
Oh, that one dude in Chicago. I forget his name.
But isn't it crazy though, Clint?
It's like one
you
dude.
can't name me for what they do, from George Bush to the illegal war. The list goes on from all of them. Name me one politician that is literally that's behind bars right now for doing so. Like, there's somebody could probably figure it out, but they don't, dude. They dodge. They walk through the raindrops. They know exactly what to do. And by the way, they make the law. They know all the judges. They have everything. Everybody's in Congress. They're not. They are untouchable, bro. That's like, and like you said, the Fauci guy. How many presidents has he been around? 7?
Yeah.
7 presidents, biggest bureaucrat. He literally, we'll talk about it like I said later, but they can do whatever they want, and you nailed it, on both sides.
Yes.
None of them. Who's in jail?
Well, and to Luke's point,
James Traficant went to jail, but he also spoke out against the system.
That's the system.
And we interviewed him on this YouTube channel too. He's he's passed away. He's no longer with us, but his story, absolutely fascinating. I don't know if you heard of Congressman James Traficant.
Traficant. That sounds like that's like a mafia family.
It sounds like
a mafia family.
Yeah.
But he was actually one of the good guys in Congress that was sent to jail and then also had a mysterious demise. We interviewed him before he passed away.
God rest his soul.
And truly, look up James Traficant. We Are Change. Crazy story. Prepare to have your mind freaking blown.
Oh, wow.
Specifically with this
very
specific story. But finish your thoughts, because I want to get into Zelensky as
Yeah,
well.
well,
if you
actually,
guys...
it's going to play into that perfectly because Trevican actually, as Luke was saying, he died in a tractor accident on his personal residence. Very interesting, particularly given what he was speaking out about. But I just wanted to tie in what Luke was pointing out with the Democrat politicians that actually do run afoul and actually end up getting prosecuted or thrown out of office are usually the rare anti-war Democrats, which used to be commonplace. Now people always lament, "Where's the anti-war left? Where's the anti-war left?" It's like, well, they're all thrown out of power. That's where they're at. Yeah. So, and now the voter base doesn't even notice it. It's
and they're
crazy.
kicked off television, and they have no representation of any anti-war voices at all on the corporate media.
Yep.
You speak out against the war, and whether it's Jesse Ventura, whether it's even Cenk Uygur, whether it's Tucker Carlson, whether it's Phil Donahue, all of those individuals, what do they have in common? They spoke out against the military-industrial complex, and they were either canned or given golden handcuffs. All of those individuals, even Cenk, be surprised by that story. Yeah. When he was on MSNBC, he came out and was like, yeah, I don't want to play ball with this specific establishment talking point. Cut right away and just absolutely screwed over. As, of course, we have a lot of war propaganda in this country that are perpetrating and pushing a larger proxy war inside of Ukraine, sacrificing those citizens to essentially what a lot of people have described as the meat grinder, as right now there is a battle within the U.S. House of Representatives and the U.S. Senate when it comes to funding this conflict that many geopolitical experts say that Ukraine has absolutely no chance of winning. As The Independent is reporting that Zelensky just abruptly canceled his U.S. Senate address as U.S. aid for Ukraine is up for debate, and a lot of people expect it not to pass in the House. What do you guys think of this kind of abrupt cancellation, as a lot of people are pointing to the fact that the situation isn't really that advantageous for Ukraine from here? I mean,
obviously, I'm pretty sure you guys think on the same wavelength as me. Shouldn't have I thought all this was supposed to happen during Trump. He was supposed to start this war, and he was Russia's agent. All that stuff didn't happen. Finally happened. I think that from the beginning was a losing war. I think us getting involved. I think where we at right now, $120 billion. At least
that we know about, not even
money.
Including the black budget that was started in 2014 after, of course, the Maidan Revolution, when the CIA was embedded in that country and started literally preparing it for an outright war.
Weird. Yeah. And I just think, dude, every time I saw Zelensky coming to Congress and like basically saying, where's my money? And then made another video, the recent one, where he's like, listen, give loan, I pay back, I'll give money, don't trust me. By the way, and apparently all the money we gave them was a loan. Yeah, like they're gonna pay back. And I made an analogy. I haven't worded it out, but Zelensky's basically our old, like we're the rich America, right? He's our ex-girlfriend that's not hot anymore. We got a new girlfriend. Netanyahu's, we're Netanyahu. And now he's back like, hey, but look, I have new breasts you paid for. And we're like, dude, get word. We moved on. We have Benjamin. Benji's our new baby. But I think him not showing up is basically he gets the picture now that there's no more money for you, bro. Because now, guess what? We've moved on. We're on to bigger and better. And it's like, bro, I've been to some of these debates. The Republicans that are left, bro, are just drooling at the mouth. They're like, guys, we have to go to Iran. We have to go over here. We have to go. Biden today was on some, hey, he hinted at us sending troops on the ground to Russia. And it's like, what the hell are we talking about, bro? And I'm sorry, I don't want to say to hell with Ukraine, because, dude, we're there. We've already started the mess. It's like, stop bothering all these places. And I've said this before, bro, for 1 year. I want our entire United States, don't build an actual war, but put some military. Nobody's coming in here. We're not messing with anybody. We're not fighting anybody. We need to stop, turn around, look inside, fix everything. Yep. I'm a veteran, bro, but I don't have it as bad as some of these veterans that are in the streets, dying. The healthcare is horrible. I can't even explain to you guys when I want to just get a regular appointment. I found a cyst on my back. You have no idea what I had to go through. Still haven't been seen. Just to go have this guy look at my back. Okay, it's disgusting. Okay, we're spending $120 billion to these people. We know what the real reason is for. Meanwhile, we have people dying in our streets that fought and are crippled and are dying for what you guys did. 1 year, try it for 365 days. Turn around, look at everybody, help. Are we good? Is everybody good? Oh, you guys want to come in here from the... Nope, sorry. We're shutting shit down. We're going to fix us for a year. Then if we can help, we'll start giving out. But until then, bro, to hell with all these people, bro. I'm tired of spreading ourselves thin, and we're gaining enemies by the minute. People are hating us, and wait till it comes. You'll see.
And they're inviting it, and they're literally creating the problem that we're going to be fighting a few years from now that they have already fomented and created, that, of course, they are literally creating, that our tax dollars are paying for, which is absolutely crazy. And the thing that you mentioned was the head of the Department of Defense today announcing, we got to give more money to Ukraine or else American soldiers are going to be going over there and fighting the Russians. A cheap manipulation, extortion attempt by the head of the Department of Defense that literally is saying America is going to be fighting the Russians in Ukraine if we don't give our tax money over to them. How else could he have stooped even lower than just by making that particular freaking statement? As 3 hours ago, we were getting the reporting from the Washington Post that Senate Republicans have blocked procedural votes for the Ukrainian aid package, specifically saying no to this, as this situation is going to be very bad for the Democrats, very bad for Joe Biden. We're going to be talking about that, plus a lot more, all on Rumble, as soon we are going to be making that transition, not the trendy, not the ESG score transition,
we're so trans.
but the actual transition over to a free. Control yourself, Vinny. We're not on YouTube yet. Control yourself. Couple minutes.
Sorry.
Control yourself. As we also have some super chats that I wanted to read. We got another one here by Raymond Lorera, who says, have you looked at Obama's executive order 13727? Have you guys heard about that? I haven't personally myself.
We'll look into it.
We got another super chat here by Jay Coulter saying, my friend said something about Spain after they elected Sanchez. We believe Sanchez Balalco won, similar to Trump in 2020, to come via Go Fast arriving from Mediterranean, and I'll go visa with Sanchez. Okay, Jay, I'm trying to make sense of that. Yeah. I don't really make sense of that. He also gave another super chat saying, I was looking for your video of Little St. James Island showing a male with stature similar to Epstein and couldn't find it. Is it in your first video from Beachhead, I think you're mentioning the video where we went to, of course, the infamous Epstein Island. That video is the first video that comes up when you put our YouTube channel in, if you're able to, of course, find it. We also have some Rumble rants. We got one from Ada19 saying, great conversation. Thank you so much, Ada19. I really appreciate that. Another one by Jay Coulter saying, don't let Zelensky hear you say, I want to get into Zelensky. Yes, he is a very kind of
flamboyant,
effeminate
kind of. He's danced a lot. I've seen him.
He reminds me of Dave Chappelle when he's like just give me one more.
Yeah. Come on, one more.
He might as well do that. I mean, at the point where Ukraine is at right now, it's not looking good for them. And we tried to warn everyone. We were telling everyone from the very beginning, hey, detente negotiations, peace is actually something that we should be looking out for. And sadly, the West and Western politicians and crazy neoconservative did the exact opposite of that. And the people of Ukraine have paid the ultimate price. People want them to even pay more, which is absolutely bewildering. And this is an important issue that finally we are seeing some Republicans get off their backs and at least be on their knees now. Yeah. They're still in a very vulnerable situation because they're probably going to capitulate. The Democrats' D is going to have their way with them, but at least there's a little bit of resistance now. And will that actually mean anything? Well, we will see what kind of deals are made in exchange for your money, your liberties, and everything else that the politicians are selling you down the river for. So again, we're going to go over right now to rumble.com, and you can find us on, of course, rumble.com/wearechange, or we are on, of course, the front page. So rumble.com, we're on the front page. You don't even have to put in our URL, and we can't recommend you guys enough to sign up. There's a lot of you guys here on YouTube. Why are you on YouTube? You should be on Rumble. You could download the app. You could sign up because it's more imperative than ever that you guys vote with your clicks, vote with your attention, and say, you know what? I'm going to be on the platform that actually is looking up for me, my speech, and my ability to actually hear conversations that I could actually freaking discern from, rather than having, of course, watered down content that sadly we have to provide you here on YouTube and can't even go deeper down the freaking rabbit hole.
Let me just make one quick. I've never made this promise in the history of this show. I am willing to wager a lot of money that the next hour on Rumble is going to be the best hour that we have ever done. This man has been holding back. I am ready to let go. Don't miss it. Tune in. Sign up. Let's go.
Vinny, you're going to have to top Larry Sinclair. Larry Sinclair is our top.
I can't even tell you guys what I want to do to you guys until we go to Rumble, because my pants are off right now. So
Vinny literally texted me. He was like, "Hey, I do podcasts with my pants down. Is that okay?" And I'm like, "Totally fine, bro. Totally cool." He was like, "Turn up the AC." I'm like, "I'll have an ice pack ready for you." We're bringing out the ice pack on Rumble. We can do whatever we want.
You know, I respect you, Luke. You let me live my truth.
Absolutely,
and I love you for that.
That's right, brother.
Yeah. Freedom is where it's at.
Yeah.
So really quick, right now, go over to Rumble.
Go to Rumble.
Vinny, before we leave YouTube, because we got a big substantial audience here on YouTube, where can people find and support your work?
I appreciate it, Luke. Thank you, brother. So my Instagram, all my handles, Twitter, formerly known X, it's at Vincent Oshana. Simple spelling. Oshana's Oshana. I'd love you guys. Please follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And I work for, I'm at Valuetainment. I'm on a show called The Unusual Suspects and the PBD Podcast. Pat. But yeah, I love you guys. Please follow me. I do a bunch of, crazy sketches and a bunch of wild stuff. I did an interview with Hillary Clinton that's on there that people really thought that I was with Hillary because we shot it well, and somebody goes, "I can't believe you gave that witch the platform." So it's pretty believable, and my pants really are down. So,
well, he'll show all on Rumble.com.
Go to Rumble if you want